Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Welcome again to Ron's Opinion Don't Matter. And in most cases, I'm just joking around, but some cases it don't. But life is good. That's the title of this video is Life is Good. And for me, it really is. Um, it's a beautiful time. Life is good. And I'm not saying it's perfect. What I'm saying it's good. I'm not saying that I don't have things that I or deal with on a day-to-day basis. We all do. And my reason for saying life is good is because at the end of the day, we're gonna always find something to complain about. So why complain? Enjoy it. Enjoy it. And that's the way I look at it. Is that I try to enjoy it. And that's sometimes hard to do because sometimes we live this life and we try to, you know, fill our lives with material things and think that's going to complete us. Oh, if I had this, I'd be happy. And if I had that, I'll be happy. And if I had more of this, I'll be happy. And if I had more of that, I'll be happy. But none of that stuff at the end of the day is going to really bring you joy, peace, or happiness. It's not. It's just, it has this moment in your life where you're excited about it. And when you actually obtain it and you just, there's a sense of accomplishment of it, especially if it's something that at the time you thought of getting it or going after it or trying to make it or build it or whatever. It was, you had to put in a lot of work to get there. And then once you accomplish it and it's like, okay, I got it. Let's say you desire to purchase a new car or buy a new car. You didn't have the money at the time. You start saving and you saving and you saving and you get this car and you're like, yes, I finally got this car. And then, let's just say you got payments on that car. When you first got the car, you was excited. You was happy, joyful. Then you started making, and this is not for everybody. It's not everybody. 6 months down the line, you just start paying on this vehicle. And all of a sudden, your desire, your joy for that vehicle, your happiness from that vehicle starts to diminish. It's like, oh man, I was excited. I had this vehicle I had, and I worked hard, and I saved all this money, and I fixed my credit, and I did all of this stuff for this vehicle, and you thought that it was going to bring you some type of peace and some type of joy. And it is. There's nothing wrong with it. I think it's a beautiful thing to put time and effort into anything. But it's not going to satisfy you to the level of where, it's not going to satisfy you that way. Because after a while, if you have it for a while and it starts to rust, starts to have problems, starts to break down, and stuff like that. Hey, what's up? How y'all doing, Alex? What's going on? How y'all doing? God bless. God bless. I think that's Theo. I'm sorry if I can't read those names on there. I'm looking at two different screens, just so y'all know. But if Thea Life, I'm sure my screen is a little small on there. But if it's Thea Life, hey, I don't know what you do on your channel, but I'll shout you out. I ain't got no beef with that. But if you're on my phone and you're looking at this live, I think that says Thea Life. I hope I'm reading it right because these letters are small to me. That's why I use two screens for the people that comment on the other side. But, give her a follow. I ain't got no beef with that. God bless you. God bless you. But yeah, if you, my point is life is good is that, I enjoy life. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like with me, a lot of times people ask you, what's up outdoors? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. How y'all doing? Please hit that like button if y'all on this live. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. But I enjoy life, and I come to a point in my life where I don't need to buy things or do all of this stuff to make me actually happy. I'm actually happy every single day I wake up. And when you're younger, sometimes you let things bother you. But as you get older, you start to realize that no, I don't. I don't work for the police. No, the Alex channel. God bless you, though. God bless you. I got love for the police. I mean, some of them I don't particularly care for, but most of them, they are. You know what I mean? Ted Bundy. Jeffrey Dahmer. Oh, that's funny. Ain't none of them my favorite, but that's funny. But yeah, life is good, and I encourage you, if you out here on these lives and you live in this life, man, don't look at your life and look at what other people have. Um, yeah, I am actually Indian. Um, according to my father, I'm not 100% sure about that, but according to my father, um, the vast majority of my bloodline will be Blackfoot Indian. But unfortunately, I grew up in a black neighborhood, so I always just identified as black. I didn't really put that much emphasis on there. But technically, according to my father and my mother's side also, I probably am more Indian than anything. I just never really embraced it because I wasn't raised around the culture or anything like that. I was raised, all my family, we all identified as black. So that's just where I went with it. I never, what's up, William? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. Yeah. And like I said, if you want in this world, learn to be happy wherever you at, man. Because it's when they say it's people out there that's doing worse than you, and sometimes that sounds real cliche-ish, like it's always somebody doing better. It's always somebody doing worse. Somebody. No, I'm not from India. No, I'm from America. I'm American. I'm 100% American, but Native American would probably be more close to identifying where I am at. That's where I was going at with the Indian aspect of it. But I see similarities in there. That's why I know why you asked that question. And I don't feel no kind of way about it. I know exactly why you asked that question. What's up, Mountain Man? How you doing? God bless you. Oh, okay, senior. How you doing? God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Enjoy your life, man. Wherever you at, whatever you doing, enjoy the small things, man. Like me, I could take a little small drive somewhere, take a walk, and I'll be enjoying myself just in that. Which part of America? You're not USA, United States of America. I'm um Pennsylvania is where I'm from. Free Diddy. He's a free Diddy. I haven't been watching none of the Diddy stuff. I'm be honest with you. I have zero idea of insight on what's going on with Diddy, and some things I'm just not. I'm just I'm just not. I have very little interest in that. I mean, I don't know what I don't know nothing about the trial. I haven't been watching none of the trial. Haven't been keeping up with the trial. I have no idea what's going on whatsoever. I really don't. I mean, if I'm Pennsylvania, United States of America, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't watch none of this. I'm not a big Hollywood fan anyway. Like like I'm not a fan of those type of people and stuff like that. That's their life. You know what I mean? It's like if he did the stuff that they saying he doing, he need to be buried under the bottom of the jail. But that's just my personal opinion. That's just not but I really don't know very much about what's going on with the Diddy trial. I don't watch it. I didn't put no of my time and effort into. It don't matter who they are. See, I'm thinking about me is I'm American citizen and I know the Constitution. I have the constitutional right to have it. So it could be feds, you know what I mean? But they can go after people like that, but I have a right to keep my bare arm, and this right shall not be infringed. So if they come looking for it, they can come looking for it. But I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't do stupid stuff on the street. I don't do stupid stuff with my firearms. Yes, I let people know. Yes, they're a part of my channel because I teach gun, I talk Second Amendment, I talk about that stuff because I don't believe that the government in no way, shape, or form has any right to tell you what you can and cannot have. So I don't care what they say because they really don't have the right. The United States Constitution is the supreme law. And that law says that you should not, the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So if anyone, any politician or any lawmaker try to write a law that infringes on your right to keep and bear arms, they're wrong. Because the law is written to protect you from government, not people, government. So why would anyone let the feds as part of the government, the court systems are part of the government, the president is part of the government, and all of these politicians are part of the government? They don't have the right to tell you what you can and cannot have. None. And the Supreme Court job is to protect that right if you're an American citizen. So yeah, that's why our law, our supreme law, which is the Constitution, says the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So if you let them tell you what you cannot have, you're making a mistake. That's not, they can't do that. According to the Constitution, it shall not be infringed because the law is written to protect. So you have the ability to protect yourself from a tyrannical government. So for those that, so don't let people fearmonger you into what you can and cannot have. Make sure you do it the right way, the best that you can. Study the laws of your state and your city. And a lot of the laws that they write are unconstitutional. So a lot of people that think that they don't have the right to keep and bear arms, the only thing that they count on is the fact that you're not going to go through the process to restore your rights. If they're rights, they can't be given to you by somebody else. They're God-given rights, not people-given rights. And that's real talk. So, for people that don't know, they're writing, the administration, current administration is fighting for people who have their gun rights taken away from them, which I don't know how you take away a right, but to give them a pathway to restore them. Yeah, they are. Not right now, they're not. They're actually reversing all that stuff. But my thing is this, is how can you give me a right that God already gave me? I have the right to protect myself against you. So, and what I always say on my videos is that if the Constitution, the Second Amendment, is written to protect yourself against a tyrannical government, now how is it that the government can write laws to limit your ability to protect yourself? That don't even make sense. So if me and let's say one of the people on my thing, we're going to war with each other, we got some beef with each other, and you say, well, I don't want you to be able to pick the best weapons possible. I want to control what weapons you have so that I can have the ability to rip and tear you down because I got all the powerful stuff and you don't have much of anything. See how that don't make sense? If my right to keep and bear arms is to protect me against the government, then the government should never have any right to tell me what I can and cannot have. We as American citizens, for some reason, sat back and we allowed them to do that. They've overstepped their bounds by far, because writing laws to say is to protect us, to keep criminals. None of these laws have ever stopped the criminal from doing anything a criminal decided to do. So they don't affect criminals. They affect everyday honest citizens who's trying to protect themselves against government. But they don't tell you that part. They want you to listen to the part, oh, you don't need that to protect yourself against criminal. Oh, you don't need a whole bunch of clips in your firearm. First of all, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, that's California. Ain't no way in the world I go live in California. You have to be crazy. In California, in my mind, if I lived in California and they was doing that stuff and I realized that the vast majority of people in California was okay with that, I'm out. I'm gone. Right. And that's the stupid stuff, Greg. This is what I keep trying to say. California really don't have the right to tell you what you can and cannot have. The people rule. The United States Constitution says the people rule. Government don't tell you, we tell government. But if the people are disorganized or not coming together and making sure that whoever y'all put in office in California, make sure that they don't overstep their boundaries, that was the people's fault because they believe that the government is here to protect you. No, these are elected officials. They're not rulers and kings. And the minute you start giving them the right to write laws and they think they're rulers and kings, they're going to rule over your life, and you're not going to have no way to protect yourself. Yeah, they are, Greg. You're absolutely right. They're brainwashed. I don't trust government. So I'm not going to let you tell me. And here's the thing. You had to be crazy. You look at the history of America, and I love my country. Don't get me wrong. I love my country. But American government has by far more irresponsible with firearms than anybody. But yet y'all going to let them tell you what you can and cannot have. We had a previous president who said, if you want to take on the government, you're going to need F-15s. Now, I don't know what everybody else heard, but what I heard was, I need to find a way to get some money so I could purchase me an F-15 so that I have a fighting chance against the government just in case they decide to go tyrannical. That's what I heard. That's what ran through my mind after he said it. Because to me, once he said that, he should have been removed from office. So let's go to Epstein Island. Yeah, all right. Right. So my thing is this. You threatened American citizens when you said that. Now, honestly, the military should have came in and removed him from office. Congress should have removed him from office. That was a threat to American citizens. He shouldn't have never did, in my opinion. But and whether you don't agree with it or not, honestly, he threatened the citizens with the government. And yet the citizens just ignored it like, oh, he didn't mean it that way. Nah, But I guarantee you this much. Let Trump say anything similar to that and watch how they go after Trump. They will call him tyrannical. They'll do all types of stuff. If Trump was to say that, oh, he threatened American citizens. Yes, I love my country, but I'm not going to sit back and say this. And I guarantee you that if Trump said that right now, they will say, oh, he threatened American citizens. But when Biden said it, nothing happened. Now, and these are the very same people that talk about Greg, and since we're on the gun conversation, you know, we can talk about this. I talk about this a lot, but Biden said out of his mouth, which is a lot of people in California say, that Gavin Newsom, you don't need all of these ammunition in your clip. This is how stupid these people are. This is why I say people need to really pay attention to government and these government officials they elected. And when someone starts talking about, and this is what I tell people all the time on my lives, if they talk about banning guns, limiting guns, controlling you, what you can and cannot have and stuff like that, you should never vote for them. Vote for somebody and never vote for a politician that says anything closely related. Oh, we need common sense gun laws, any of that stuff. Never vote for these people. I would never vote for them because at that point, you're giving me a clear indication that you are tyrannical. But on the flip side, when they start talking about limiting how much ammunition you should have in your clip. Now, this is how stupid this is. And this is what the scenario I always tell people when they say that stupid stuff. Okay, I pull into a gas station, right? Bang. I'm following the law and I only got 10 rounds in my clip. Or in some cases, I don't know what state, for some people it might be even worse. But let's just say I follow the law and I got 10 rounds in my clip, right? I'm sitting at a gas station pumping my gas. 4 guys walk up, criminal-wise, intending to rob me or carjack me. All 4 of them got extended clips because they don't care what the law says. They got firearms and they got extended clips. Now, I got 10 rounds to defend myself with. Meanwhile, I'm faced with 100 rounds around me. I followed the law. The stupid law that they wrote, I followed the rule. I only had 10. They don't care about gun laws. Each one of them got 30. And it's 4 of them. I got to try to defend myself off with 10 rounds. And I'm being attacked with barrage of bullets. Make that make sense. That's how I know when these politicians talk like that, they don't care 2 cents about the everyday American citizens. They don't care 2 cents about them. Calm down. They don't care 2 cents about American citizens because they will still try to talk and preach that stupidity to you and make it sound. What they do is they use it as a virtual signaling, like they're trying to act like they're being virtuous about it. But in reality, they're not doing anything to protect you. What they're doing is they want you to be at the mercy of criminals and then keep telling you they're gonna fix the problem when they never gonna fix it. Oh, we're gonna reduce crime. We're gonna do this. Meanwhile, you're giving criminals free reign on the citizens, because now in California, you go to they come and rob you. You got to think about whether you want to defend your home. The thing, listen, you work for that. You put all your money aside, right? You saved your money. You bought this house. You put your family inside of it. They say then they'll sit there and say, "Oh, it's not worth taking somebody else's life." But I put all of my life, the time that I put into earning this house is my life. The work I put into it, the time I put into it, I can't get none of that back. And you want someone else to come and take my goods after I put years into trying to obtain where I'm at right now, and I'm supposed to be okay with that. This is how stupid they are. But if you say that to the average person, they're going to say, oh, yeah, life is more important. Well, it should have been more important to the person that decided to come in my house, because obviously their life isn't important to them. So the value of what I have should not be valuable to me, but they're risking to put their life on the line to come take what I have. But me, I don't have, their life has more value. If it had more value, they would have thought about coming to take it. Obviously, they don't value their own life, because they don't know what's in my house until they come in there. And if they met with that, then what? But you want me to be okay with that. You want me to be okay with them coming in my house. And you want me to not defend my home. And if it come down to it, God forbid, me having to shoot and hurt, harm, and possibly kill somebody, even though I may not want to, and you say it's not worth my home, but apparently it's worth my home to them because they come in here trying to take what's in it. Make it make sense. You tell me, make it make sense. If y'all on this live, please hit the like button. I appreciate it. Please hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. But it's food for thought. I'm telling you. Don't let these politicians tell you all that craziness. I'm dead serious. What they be saying out of their mouth, they don't know what they talking about. Do not let these politicians, I don't care, from the president on down to your local politician. The minute they start talking that craziness, you should not vote for them. They're not protecting you. They're protecting the criminals. So if you live in a state or you live in a county somewhere and they keep writing these laws to limit the everyday citizen to the right to protect themselves, even though they don't have that right to tell you what you can and cannot have, the Supreme Court should come in and stop. They should shut all that down, because all of it is unconstitutional, in my opinion, if you really look at it. Because it's no. And then they'll say, oh, well, what about somebody that off there go crazy and do this crazy stuff and do this crazy stuff? But if everybody had some weapons, and if everybody had the ability to defend themselves, the person that wants to do something crazy would give a whole lot of thought to that, because everybody got a weapon. Everybody got the best weapons. Ain't nobody going to walk into a room with a firearm and then everybody in the building got firearms. They're going to be like, oh, I picked the wrong battle. They're not. They're going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And they're going to walk out there and say, well, I picked the wrong crime. I picked the wrong place to try to commit crime. But see, when people that are criminals and they know, like places like California, the average citizen might not have a firearm, it's open season for them. I agree. But the only way they're going to free up, and the only way you're going to deal with that, wherever you live at locally in the state of Pennsylvania, you need to go to your congressperson, your mayors, and your governor. Y'all need to harass them. You have to show that, y'all have to show in your county and your town that you're bigger than the people that are against it. Because they finding slick ways to try to do it. Because if they can't do it through the Constitution, what they do is they start writing laws to try to bankrupt all of the gun manufacturers and who make these guns and make these firearms, through litigations and stuff like that, and lawsuits and stuff. So the only way to counter that is, that's why I tell people, go get your firearm, go get your weapons, make sure you're good. God bless you, top to bottom, hair and skin clear. God bless you. Thank you for coming in. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very, very much. And the only thing you can see is where it's at. I can't take it off. Can't take them off. That's the one thing I don't do is take them off there. Not while I'm on the live anyway. They have to stay right where they're at. Criminals will never have access to the weapons because they got access to them anyway. You're not making sense. I get what you're trying to say, but Nicholas, I guess that's what it is. I'm sorry, I can't really see these words too much, but criminals will always have access to guns. They don't go in stores and buy guns. They make them, they manufacture them, they find other ways. Criminals do not go and follow laws. None of the laws that they write does not limit criminals. If that was the case, if every law that they wrote limited criminals, crime would be fixed right now, and it's not. Right, crime will be fixed right now, so it's not going to fix, and it doesn't do anything for criminals. Yes, right. Open Eyes, how you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Please hit that like button. It would never limit criminals. Criminals don't follow laws. That's why they're criminals. They don't care about your laws. Matter of fact, the more they see people following the law, the more it becomes open season for them. Yeah, I'm good with that one, Mickey. That's a nice try, though. Appreciate you, Open Eyes. I appreciate you. Hey, that's your choice, Rocket. I think that's what that says. Well, then you won't pay attention to the news, because I can tell you right now, if you want to hear reports of a good guy saving, they don't put that on the news, number one. And the other thing is this, well over. Here's the point I'm getting ready to tell you, Nicholas. This is why this is where the ignorance come in. And I'm not saying you're ignorant, but this is where the ignorance come in. By far more people than have been saved and protected by a good guy with a firearm, by far more than anything else. The thing of it is that it never gets reported most of the time. And here's what ends up happening. If you look at the incidents where people carry guns, most of the time you never even have to use it, because when somebody get ready to do something criminal-wise and the good guy with the gun actually shows that he has it, that usually diffuses the situation, and it never ends up being a bunch of people shooting back and forth at each other. The other thing is this. If you want to know how many people, you go look at the reports of people that have been saved by firearms. Here's the biggest one. United States of America is probably one of the safest countries when it comes to a threat from other countries. Why do you think we're one of the safest countries? Because of the firearms that we have. Because of the weapons that we have. And without weapons that we have and good people having the weapons, bad people will do whatever they want to do, and they will never stop. Exactly, Greg. See, the thing is, they do all this virtual signaling and thinking that, oh, you don't need to have. Listen, I've got firearms. I ain't never shot nobody. Never thought about it. The thought don't even run through my mind of wanting to shoot somebody. I go to the range. I practice. I try to refine my skills as much as possible. I wouldn't sit there and tell you I'm the best shooter, but I do practice and everything. No way in the world. I never thought about hurting or harming or doing anything of that nature. The last thing I would ever want to have to do is use my firearm against somebody else. Will I, if I had to? Yeah. But that I do everything. You're supposed to do everything you can do to prevent that. But that's why I said a lot of people don't realize that a lot of crime has been stopped because a good guy had a firearm and put a stop to it. And I've seen videos of people trying to start a war, going into somewhere with a gun. And what happens is it wasn't a mass shooting, because the mass shooting stopped when the person realized what they were trying to do, and they even stopped to show the gun or actually killed the person before they could do too much damage anyway. But the mainstream media will never tell you that, because they don't put those stories out. But what I usually do when I Google stuff like that, I keep flipping the page, and then you'll find it after you flip a few pages, you're like, oh, why they don't tell this story? Why they don't tell that story? Why? Because they don't want you to know that. They want you to keep believing that you should not have firearms, because they want to give criminals rule over your life. I don't even agree with the mental health part. I get what you're saying, because what happens is the government, who have proven themselves to overstep their boundaries. The minute you start giving the ability to make those type of decisions, they're going to overstep their boundary, and it's going to start out with mental health. And the next thing you know, they're going to do, they're going to say everybody have a mental health problem, and they're going to try to keep everybody from having firearms. Once again, you're giving the government power over the people, and therefore, I'm not good with that. I'm sorry. No problem, Nicola. I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate it. Really do. It's a good conversation. But that's why I'm not good with the mental health, because they're going to overstep their boundaries. What's up, James? How you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Right. And my thing is this: who gets to determine top to bottom hair and skincare? Who gets to determine what is mental health problem? And this is where it starts to cross the line of who gets to decide that. Because I'm going to tell you, a tyrannical person is going to use every possible way to try to control people. They're not concerned about criminals. They know they can't do nothing about the criminals. Yeah, and that's the way it should be, like Texas. And that's real talk. Because at the end of the day, the government have proven themselves to be tyrannical over and over and over and over again. That's why I don't trust them. And that's why I tell people, if you can't change the law in where you state, in your state, you definitely can change what state you live in. And if they're not concerned about their citizens, then you should get out of there. Yeah, I know the compressor bill is being pushed. I'm hoping yes, I'm hoping so. James, I hope so. I hope so. I really do. I don't even own a suppressor. I don't have one suppressor at all. But, the fact that they it should not be in the hands of government. It should be something that you should be able to purchase on your own. And my thing is this, and this is how stupid these people are who don't know about firearms. A suppressor protects your ears. Anybody ever been to a range and around firearms, you know what you need a suppressor for. They say, oh, it's dangerous. How is a suppressor dangerous? It protects your ears. Because gunfire is loud as hell. And then next thing you know, even though you might wear ear protections and stuff, that's what the protection for. It protects your drum. And my thing is this: even in a situation, if someone's attacking you, if someone's trying to attack you, and you got to pull out your weapon, you have a suppressor, that'll protect your ears because you're not walking around with earphones on or earplugs on and stuff like that around. So it doesn't make sense. But again, anything they can do to control your life. Anything they can do to control your life. They'll make these politicians and people like that will make excuses. Well, I mean, Dave, I get the part about the muzzle flash, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the sound. The suppressor that reduces the sound. If I'm in a situation where I'm firing rapid fire to protect myself, and it's a suppressor on the gun, it's going to keep the sound down. No, we're not scared. We're just not stupid. That's all. We're just not stupid to trust the people that say they're going to protect you are protecting you. One thing I ain't never been was scared. I might have been scared when I was a child, but I'm a grown man. I don't need to be scared now. But I ain't stupid. Yeah, they don't. They really don't. And listen, I'm not going to sit there and tell you I'm a gun expert, because I'm not. I know enough, but there's still things I'm learning. Right, open eyes. Yeah, it's crazy when people are hearing people talking about that. Here's the thing. Wait till we have another COVID moment. Watch. Because what did people do when COVID happened? Look how many firearms got sold at that time. The gun industry made booming money because of COVID. Why? Because people started recognizing what was happening and said, wait a minute, they're trying to make us do it. No, I ain't never killed nobody. I don't want to. Don't want to, don't ever want to in life. No, I'm not. I'm not a member of an NRA. No. I usually go to an indoor range. Talk about them. I get your point, but yeah, I mean, secretly, have you ever killed somebody? Why would I want to do that? What's up, Mike in the building? How you doing? God bless you, brother. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it very much. Out the pit. What's up? What's up? Out the pit. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? God bless you, brother. God bless you. God bless you, man. Good to see you in the buildings. Good to see you. Hopefully all is well with you out the pit. Out the pit. But yeah, I can talk guns all day long because that's, I'm into it. But and anybody else that's on my live, if you guys get a chance to, 2 people on my live, they're regulars on my channel, which is Top to Bottom Hair and Skin Clear. Plus they have a website where they sell hair care products, skincare products. I actually am a customer. I buy their product and I use it. I've probably got 6 different items that I purchased from them so far. I'm not sure exactly the quantity. I mean, how many, but I know it's around that thing. But I'm happy with their product. I use, I can't remember all the name, but I got my hair stuff that I use from them, my skin stuff that I use from them, and so forth. Yes, they are. So if you're on this live, please check out Top to Bottom Hair and Skincare. And Out the Pit also, check out his channel, man. He has a very good channel. They got very good conversation on their channel. It's very interesting. Exactly. I agree with you. Don't take it away. What's up, Donald? You know you always hilarious to me. James, what's up, man? How you doing? Oh, a sub 2000, James. I have no idea what that is. If God is real, please explain the dinosaurs. But yeah, it's I'm in the process of getting ready to eventually purchase me something else. I know it's gonna be an AR-15, but I just don't know what caliber it's gonna be. Like I'm leaning towards a 308. My dream gun. Why do I need 20 guns? I need more than 20. I need 50. I don't put no limit on anything of that when it comes to that. Yeah, I didn't even feel the need to even respond to it. Some things ain't even worth responding to. But here's my point. Okay, I'm gonna respond to the dinosaur question. All right, so he said, if God, what can I explain dinosaurs? Now, number one, if you pay attention to when they talk about science, These are their theory. The theory is another word for opinion. So all of these fossils and all this other stuff that they bring out, and this is just my opinion, you don't have to agree with me, right? All right, so let's just say there were dinosaurs at the time that they say there were dinosaurs. Now, I like dinosaurs. I hope there were. I'm not too sure. I'm not sure if they were or not. But let me just make this point. All right, so when dinosaurs probably was originally here, they had a purpose. And here's the purpose of them, in my opinion, why we would have dinosaurs at that moment. There wasn't a whole lot of humans. Who's going to maintain all of these trees and cut down trees and the overgrowth and all the other stuff at that time? This is just my opinion. All right, so at some point, men started populating the earth a lot faster, a lot more. And those type of size dinosaurs, after a while, they're probably not going to be needed. But here's the other thing that no one pays attention to. We still have those dinosaurs today. This is just my opinion. The difference now is they're in machine form. Go look at when they go to do logging and all that other stuff that they do right now. Look at the machines that they use and how similar they are to the dinosaurs that they say we had of then. See, now we're removing trees and cutting down stuff faster now. This is just my opinion. Than they did like they did back then. Now, if you had dinosaurs back then and you were trying to build a house and you didn't have no saws and equipment, it's just my opinion. Don't mean it's facts. I'm just giving y'all my observation of my head thing. You would need to get these trees and break them down and stuff like that. So if you had large dinosaurs back then and they cutting down trees and breaking down trees, you don't need a whole lot of heavy equipment to move it because you got dinosaurs. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I don't have to agree with me. It's just my opinion. So when I look at the machines that we use today, I like, to me, they look like, if you look at how they operate and stuff like that, and the claws and the biting and the crabbing and stuff and cutting them down, it looks very similar to that. And that's just my opinion. That's how I look at it. I'm like, okay, we don't need them then because there's enough men to do the chopping down and breaking down and cutting down the trees. So you don't have no need for no dinosaurs from back then at that point. Of course they don't, Donald. They ain't smart enough. John A., how you doing? God bless you. Welcome in. Welcome in. I appreciate you. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very, very much. But yeah, that's just, again, that's just my observation. And take it for what? I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying that that's the answer to it. That's just how I look at it from a logical perspective. We still got to remove some of these trees. I never said I voted for Obama. I never voted for Obama. You go through every video I ever made, and what you're not going to find is me saying I voted for Obama. Nope. And I voted Democrat, but I never voted for Obama. Now, I voted for Hillary Clinton, which I'm not proud of. But I never voted for Obama. You go search through all my videos, and I guarantee you're not going to find where I voted for Obama. Everybody know I said I never voted for Obama. I didn't vote for Obama because he picked Joe Biden as his running mate. Is what I kept saying in my videos. I never voted for Obama because he picked Joe Biden as his running mate, and I know that Joe Biden has a racist history, and that's why I never voted for him. Yes, it is a nightmare, James. Extremely nightmare. It's an extremely nightmare. But yeah, I never vote for him. But yeah, I don't want that. I pray that never happens. Kamala Harris 2028. Yeah, good luck with that one. Yeah, good luck with that one. That would. I hope that never happened. I appreciate. Yeah, I would never. Nah. Like I go in hard on the Democrats because I grew up in a Democratic neighborhood, city of Philadelphia, Democratic neighborhood, and it's still a Democratic stronghold. But I'm good. Not here. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Not here. I don't vote that way no more. But I never voted for Obama. I mean, people just assume because you're black you did, but I won't. I never voted for Obama. Unfortunately, I voted for Hillary. But my reason for voting for Hillary was because of her husband. When Bill Clinton was in office, when I was younger then, I liked the Bill Clinton. I think he did a heck of a job. So therefore, I was like, if I get Hillary by default, but honestly speaking, after Trump's first 4 years, and I look back, I was like, you know what, he did a heck of a job. So that's the direction that I went, and that's what I voted for. Yeah, I ain't had no beef with Bill Clinton. I was actually financially doing well when Bill Clinton was in office. Now, I can't say much. He did some other stuff, which that's again his personal life between him and his wife. I don't get into that. I think that's more to his family. But as the economy go and running the country, I think Bill Clinton did a pretty good job. So I had no beef with Bill. So that's why I voted for Hillary. I was trying to get Bill Clinton by default. But that didn't work out. But after Trump got in office, because I didn't vote for Trump the first 4 years, after he got in office and I looked back, I was like, you know what? He did a good job. I'm good. Yeah, you know what? I agree with that. I'm sorry, I can't really read that, but I agree with that part. I talk a lot of politics and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, we got to not make it personal. You know what I mean? Honestly, when it comes to politics, we should never, start taking it personal. You know what I mean? Like just because you supported, like for people that support Democrat Party or vote Democrat, I'm not mad at them. I mean, that's your choice. Like I voted Democrat before. I voted Republican before. I look at the candidate a little bit, but I also look at the policies that they trying to implement. That's to me has a bigger factor than just running off at the mouth. And then I need to know a little more about your history to kind of get an idea of how honest or dishonest you are. All of us have some honesty and dishonest if we honest with each other. But I try to get an idea of your history to get an idea of how honest or dishonest you are. None of us are going to get it all right. Yeah. And listen, I got family members that don't agree with me politically. I have no idea what you're talking about, Donald, but I have no idea. I have no beef with nobody politically. And I got people in my family members that, they feel some kind of way about my vote. But like, even my mother, my personal mother, just like, she felt some kind of way. But recently, since he's been in office, my mother actually came back and said, you know what? I'm glad he and I like what he's doing. I was surprised because I was surprised my mother even said it. No, I don't. I'm telling you, I don't know what it is. I don't know what you're referring to. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, and that's it. And my mom eventually came back and she said, you know what? I'm glad he's in there. What happened was she brought up, what did she talk about? About him keeping men out of women's sports. And I didn't even know my mom. My mom doesn't watch my channel and stuff like that. She watches, she's up there in age. She watches the news and stuff. And she was like, I'm glad he's in there now. She said, keeping men out of women's sports. I'm with that. And I was like, oh, okay, Mom. I don't argue with my family and them over that. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Yeah, I don't, like they will. I've been attacked personally by a family, like arguing and stuff like that. But I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to let, if what I say is right, if I just sit back and let it play out, time going to tell. And if I'm wrong, again, time is going to tell. I don't know what you're talking about, Donald. I keep telling you that. I don't. People feel like they got to put a label on everything. I don't know. If I don't know what you're talking about, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't. My mindset is what I learned from what I don't put titles on every little thing I do. I just talk what I feel is dope. That's why I says Ron's opinion don't matter. Either you agree with my opinion or you don't. That's okay. As a kid, he might be talking about that. Joyce, how you doing? What's up? What's up? God bless you, Joyce. God bless you. Thank you for coming in on this live. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. But listen, he might be top to bottom hair and skincare. He might be referring to that, but I don't subscribe to stuff like that. Like, I don't even know what he's talking about. When I say I'm oblivious to what he's talking about, I am totally oblivious. My mindset is from my mindset. I don't go through all of these different analytics and stuff like that. What he talking about, I have no idea what he's talking about. My mind is basically my opinion. I listen to what people say. I go do my own research on certain things. I don't care about what resources or stuff like that, Fox News, CNN, all that other stuff. I don't get that deep into it. I don't know what you're talking about. I really don't know who you're talking about. That's my point. My opinion is my opinion. Now, if you agree with it, you don't have to. But I have no idea what he's doing. Whatever he's talking about as far as Cambridge, analytics, social media, algorithm, I don't know what he's talking about. I really don't. Because my opinion was my opinion long before I got on social media. I rarely ever was on social media. I had these stances on my own. There's no need to educate myself. On what? I educate myself on a lot of stuff. But I don't need to go find a title to something to say whether I'm right or wrong. That's not even make sense. Top to bottom gave you a question, Donald. I guess what you think about it. Yeah, I walked away from the Dems. Yeah, I still, like I said, I don't know who Donald talk about. I don't know. I had no clue what he talking about. I guess it's some stuff that he may follow or social media that he, yeah, I supported Trump. I voted for Trump. I campaigned for Trump. If you look at the vast majority of video of my thing, you will see that I campaigned for Trump. I've been to rallies. I've been to two rallies. When he came to Philadelphia and when J.D. Vance came to Philadelphia. But I watched it. I followed this campaign the whole time. What am I ignorant on? Because I don't know who you're talking about. So you want me to say I know something that I don't know? If I tell you I don't know what you're talking about, I don't know what you're talking about. Wherever I got my opinion from is my opinion. But I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, if it's a website, I have no idea. It could be a car you're talking about, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. I know how to be honest. How's everything going with you, Joyce? God bless you. Oh, wow. Okay, Jeff. Top to bottom, hair and skin. I'm not really a big fan of the Republican Party. I just said I said that I am Republican until further notice. Meaning that if they go deep in, they only got most of the Republicans that got my vote is because I voted down party lines because I wanted to make the job of what Trump was trying to do politically wise, as far as his policies go, as easy as possible. So that's why I voted down for party line. Did I want all the Republicans that might have gotten in it? I don't even know. I did not care. I was wanting America, like Joyce said on my other part of the live, America first. And that's what I wanted. Joyce Arch said America first. That's what I wanted. So I didn't care about I'm not, I would not sit there and say that the Republican Party, well, in my opinion, the Democrats are by far worse. I mean, that's just my opinion. My experience have shown me that they're by far worse. And I always say, and anybody on my live will know, I think the Democrats love criminals, and I will say it until they stop loving the criminals. Until they stop loving criminals and treating criminals better than they treat citizens. That's my beef with the Democratic Party. But, and again, I wasn't never a big supporter of the Republican Party. I didn't know enough about the Republican Party to say that. Here's the thing. The Republican Party, normally they just ignore the hell out of Democratic communities. Yeah, I don't, and like I said, I didn't know, and I'm not going to act like I knew. But yes, they do, Joyce. They do want to raid your pockets. Now, the Democratic Party, right? And I speak from my personal experience. I grew up in Philadelphia. Philadelphia is a Democratic stronghold. I can't blame Republicans for the conditions of Philadelphia when they're not running anything. This is the point that I'm trying to make. Democrats have been running the city of Philadelphia. So how can I blame Republicans for the conditions of Philadelphia when the Democrats, by and large, by far more, has been running the city of Philadelphia? It's the same thing with any of these places. So in my opinion, the Republicans were just like, well, there's no point of us campaigning for your vote because by y'all just vote one way no matter what. Y'all vote blue no matter who. So in my opinion, they just ignored the hell out of those people. They said, what's the point of campaigning for their vote when they never going to get it anyway? So why would I vote for a party? Why would I go campaign for people who I already know are not going to vote for me? That's the Republican Party. They just like, well, there's nothing you could do. They're going to automatically just keep voting for Democrats. So unless you run as a Democrat, you're not even going to campaign for their vote. That's why I look at the Republican Party. Some people say they was racist. I say I don't see them as racist. I just saw the Republican Party as like, well, what's the point of campaigning for your vote if they're not going to vote for me anyway? Now, when Trump ran as a Republican, he actually went to these neighborhoods and community and campaigned for their vote. He said, what y'all got to lose? And he was right. It might not like it, but he was right. What do we have to lose? We've been losing the whole time. So what do we have to lose by switching our vote to someone else? And in the 4 years that he was there, the black community did way better. Yeah, so I really wasn't paying. Like when Trump first got in office, I really didn't look at it that way. But after a while, I really did. And I said, wow, this dude is really doing a heck of a job. And I'm good with it. Yes. You're right, Dirty Money. And that's how I felt. You know what I mean? And then, so I started paying attention to what Trump was saying. And then I said, you know what? I can get behind this because I'm American and I believe in America first. And then after a while, I started campaigning. I used my platform and I went out on the streets and I was just like talking to people. And I went to places where I know that by and large, they were not going to vote, typically not going to vote for Trump or vote Republican. And what I did was I campaigned in that area and it made the difference. And I think that made a little bit of a difference. Not a big difference because I didn't, I can only reach but so far. What's up, Christopher Real? How you doing? God bless you. Yeah, out the pit. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. That's what I'm talking. You're right, Dirty Money. My thing is this: is that you don't even hear the news media talking about. And don't get me wrong, I don't watch enough of them because I do go in there and I peek in to see what they're talking about, but I don't spend a whole lot of time there. They're not talking about none of the money that's coming here. And I really don't need to, because I just go to Trump's page on Truth Social and I hear what they're trying to do. That's all I care about. If I go right to the source, I don't care what the news say. So I go to Trump's Trump Social, Truth Social on Trump, with Donald Trump, and I go to those type of places. As soon as I get a chance to, I'm going to do some more videos of me shooting at the range. I got some on my live, on my page, but not a whole lot. Hey Joyce, question, because I'm not watching anything right now. The no tax on tips passing the Senate. Yeah, I'm not too sure because I haven't even been online, but that's where. What's the point? Get swindled by the internet. The internet is more reliable than the news outlets. Just so you know, Donald J, we know they ain't really you. The internet has been more reliable information-wise. The YouTubers and all of those people have been more reliable, and they've been more right than the news outlets. No, I don't know. I'm telling you. I have no idea what you're talking about. When you get a chance, Donald, send me what you're talking about. You on my lives all the time. I have no idea what you're talking about. But like I said, when I go to and listen to the press, no, I was trying to see if they really actually did they vote on it and did it pass. That's what I was asking, Joyce. Because I know they were supposed to, I think they were supposed to vote today at 1 o'clock or something like that. I'm not too sure. But I know that part, Joyce. I'm sorry. But I know they were trying to vote on the bill. I was watching it yesterday, but I know they were supposed to come back and vote again. So I just wanted to know where we was at with that. Yeah, I don't know, Donald. I have no idea what you're talking about. I'll eventually go find out what you're talking about, but I have no clue. My opinion is my opinion. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I do too. And it's sad because I seen the news lie too much. I watched the news lie in my face. And I'm like, wait a minute. When they was talking about when I was at Philadelphia rally, right? And I'm watching the news talking about, oh, it wasn't that many people there. And they literally said that it was only about 2,000 people at Trump's rally on the news. And I'm like, but I was there. It was 2,000 people out there before they even opened the doors. So what are y'all talking about? I'm like, so what are y'all talking about? And oh, that's what's up. So it passed in the Senate. Okay. Yeah, when I get off this live, I'm going to go check that out. I appreciate you, Joyce. I really do. Yeah. No, it's not. Not too odd. Not too odd, Todd. No, it's not painted, but I appreciate the compliment. I really do. No, it's not painted. It's actually it's a giant flag. You know, to be honest, it's a flag. It's just a flag. Oh, okay. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, but I'm working off of two different things. But I'm trying to respond to everybody. But yeah, but Yeah, Joyce. I knew about the takedown bill. I mentioned that in the video, short, quick video. But yeah, I don't. It boggles my mind of how much the news will lie in your face, and that's it. Like when I was at the rally, I was there, and they literally said only 2,000 people showed up when I could have easily counted 2,000 people, and that was like 4 or 5 hours before it even started. And I'm like, by the time it ended, it was over. It was easily about 10,000 people there. And this is in the city of Philadelphia, which is a Democratic stronghold. Dirty money, what's up, man? That's funny. Yeah, I just don't. It's hard for me to. I don't believe in very much that come out of him. I don't trust the news for a lot of stuff. And here's the thing: when JD Vance, when he came to Philadelphia, right, he was on the south side of Philadelphia. The news was out there heavy, right? Now they said, oh, it was only a handful of people at JD Vance. But here's what they did not tell you, right? When JD Vance came to Philadelphia, I got an email that he was coming. It was by invitation only. The seating was only for 1,000 people. That's it. They said it's only for 1,000 people, and that was it. When I got inside, it was a small venue. It was only for people that was already registered or whatever. So when I went to JD Vance, the news started to say, oh, it wasn't a lot of people. No people showed up. There was a reason why it wasn't a lot of people, because it was an invitation only. I got an email to get an invite for 2 people. I went by myself, but it was for 2 people. So when I got there, all the people there were people that was already, for most people, that was supporting Trump's campaign. That's it. It wasn't for people that was just for people to just walk in. But the news was like, oh, it was only a handful of people. Nobody showed up and this and that and that and that. But they didn't tell you why. I agree, Dirty Money. I'm good. I'm glad they getting them up out of here. I'm glad they're getting these illegals up out of here. And that was another thing y'all voted on Trump for. Because if we would have had Kamala Harris in here, it would have been more the same. They would have never closed that border. They would have never got rid of these illegals. They would have never been going after them. They would have opened up the border wider and let more people come in. And my thing is this: I want y'all to imagine, if you watch anything as far as the negotiations with Trump are doing with all these other countries, right? Right now, he's in the process of negotiating all the tariffs and deals with all these other countries. I want y'all to try to picture Kamala Harris in that. I want y'all. What's up, Billy? How you doing? God bless you. God bless you. I want you to try to picture Kamala Harris sitting down with Putin, China, all of these other countries trying to negotiate tariff deals. Picture it. You know what? Yeah, I agree. I probably would have taken Hillary over Kamala Harris too. At least I think Hillary probably would have had a better shot at negotiating than Kamala Harris. But yes, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it very, very much. Yeah, I agree. I think I would have taken Hillary over Kamala Harris. But like I said, look at how when Trump went over to no, she couldn't. Not even as vice president. Oh, because somebody brought up Kamala Harris. That's why I'm not talking about it. I mean, honestly, she's useless. But anyway, again, the reason why she couldn't have done it, there is no way she was qualified to do what we see being done right now. That's why we're talking about Kamala Harris. She's not qualified. Joyce Art says Kamala would have just let Barack and Hillary continue on. Yeah, and they did. And my thing is this is that, and my thing, when they did, and I think that was so wrong for the people that actually came to Kamala Harris at that camp, when that rally, when they made them believe that she was going to perform, and she didn't. And she didn't. They made them people believe that she was going to perform, and she didn't. That to me was slimy. That was slimy. That was slimy. I don't care what nobody say. That was slimy. And why would you want somebody who would do that for the very people that they say support their campaign? Why would you lie to them and do that to them and mislead them? Because that's exactly what that was. You was misleading them. If you told them that they was going to, Beyonce was going to perform at your rally, and she did not perform, and they all showed up for that, and she didn't perform, that's slimy. And they did it more than once. And my thing is this is that, and like Out the Pit said, that was to me was the worst campaign ever ran in the history of campaign. Because the part that bugged me the most, this is how much they don't care about their voters. They had an abortion clinic set up outside of their convention. You having a convention, a Democratic convention, and y'all felt it necessary to set up an abortion clinic outside. Why? Yeah, you're right, Joy. She could have occupied a few bars, gave people something. She just said what she said and walked off the stage. But honestly, if you look at what she was saying and how she was talking, you clearly see she wasn't supporting Kamala Harris's campaign. You clearly see she wasn't. She was there. She got paid to be there. Yeah. And the thing that disturbed me the most was outside. Yeah, the twerking too. But I mentioned that. But my thing is outside of the Democratic convention, they had abortion clinic. So come to the Democratic convention and offer your baby. Offer your baby at a Democratic convention. Now, for me, being, yeah, they did. They set her up. But that's what the Democrats do all the time out the pit. They put up who they want. They don't put up who the voters want. If you look at when Hillary was running against, what's his name? Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders was more popular than Hillary, but they put up Hillary. Let people choose for their lives. Well, that life in that body didn't get a chance to choose. That life that was in that body didn't get a chance to choose. That's what's up. Yeah, I want all these illegals out of here. I don't care. The baby had no choice. And not only did the baby have no choice, what if the father wanted it? And if my thing is, if you got a choice before you start having sex, not to get pregnant. You got a choice. If you don't want to have a baby, don't get pregnant. That's it. And my thing is this, honestly, when people say that about, oh, my body, my right, or that baby, my thing is this, is that how is it that you're alive today? Nobody aborted you, but you okay with aborting somebody else. Someone thought enough of you to keep you here, to keep you around. Just because it happens all the time doesn't mean it's okay. Car accidents happen all the time. Is car accidents okay? I'm saying car accidents happen all the time. Are car accidents okay? No, exactly. So that's not, my point is you're not making sense. My thing is this, is that we are alive today. I got life. Somebody did not decide to abort me. They thought enough of me to let me come through, right? So why in the world did me get to experience life? Now but I want to make it okay for someone else not to. So I'm never going to be okay with that. It's wrong. It's murder. If you don't want to have kids, don't get pregnant. And my thing is, the bigger problem for me is that it affected the black community by far more than any. The responsibility is before you have sex, use protection or whatever you got to do. Now that you're pregnant, you want to take it out on the baby. Now that you're pregnant, you so angry and so mad that you want to take it out on the baby that you're pregnant. Your irresponsible act of getting pregnant by somebody, you take that anger out on the baby who did nothing to you. And that's it. The only thing, I mean, if it's a life-threatening issue, I get that part. I get that part, but that's very, very extremely rare. Most of the time, it's nothing about that. Most of the time, it is nothing about that. Most of the time, it's more so about their behavior is so bad, they don't want to hold on to, they don't want to be held accountable for their behavior. And I'm talking to everybody. I put myself in that equation. If I make a bad choice, that's on me. Don't take it out on the child. The child didn't do that. The child didn't do nothing wrong. Why would I take it out on the kid? So my thing is this: if I got somebody pregnant and they don't want the kid, then give the kid to the person that want it. There's a lot of families out here that want children that can't have children, got problems and issues. I'm not going to give people a free pass just to say it's okay to off babies. No. That is about as innocent as you can get as a baby. Christians do believe in birth control. What you think not having sex before sex is? Before marriage? I don't know. I mean, I'm not a Christian, so I don't know what you mean by Christians, but I believe in Jesus Christ, but I don't particularly subscribe to the Christian thing like what some people do, because that can be very, very miscued. But I believe in Jesus Christ, but I don't know what you're talking about. But they might do, they might not to some extent. But my point is, my thing is this: they do believe in birth control, but their belief in birth control is don't have sex with anybody until you marry and y'all establish as a family. That's what that's how I understand it. So that's birth control. Control how you get pregnant. Exactly. That's it. My point. I get what Donald, he trying to say what he's trying to say, and I get it to some extent. But birth control is called be responsible. I don't get what you're saying with the scope thing. But it's not my business what people want to do. That's what Donald said. He said, not my business what people want to do. Well, when you make your business public, then it's my business. If you don't want nobody to know your business, then you don't make it public. And the other thing, Donald, it is my business when you take my tax-paying dollars and you finances someone's abortion with it. Then it becomes my business. Stop using taxpayer money to do it, and it won't be our business. Right, exactly. Why should the taxpaying citizens be financing that genocide of babies? All you gotta do is be responsible. Real simple. Just be responsible. And like I said, I put myself in that equation. If I go and get somebody pregnant, I'm responsible for it too. That's it. Be honest with yourself. You know your behavior, and if you do it, hold yourself accountable, I guess. But it should not be controlled and manipulated by one side of the party. If two people tangle, it should not be controlled and manipulated by one, and the other one don't have no say-so. That's where I'm at with that. It should not be one-sided. If we both did it, we both should be deciding it. All the way across the board. All the way across the board. And we should not be funding it. You did it. You're responsible for it. You should be the one to pay for it. You put in the work to get pregnant. You should be the one paying for the pregnancy. That's it. And when people say my body, my right, and this is just my opinion, what did you do to get that body that you got? The one that you say is your right. What did you do to get that body? Yeah, I agree with you, Dirty Money. America First is well overdue. I'd be glad when all this is coming in full circle. And my thing is this: I work, but I don't work a lot of overtime. I don't. I minimize how much work I do on a regular day. I'm not at the age where I'm on that type of grind of putting in 10 hours all the time. I don't have to. At this point in my life, I really don't have to. But so no tips, no tax on overtime. Personally, really doesn't benefit me. That's for every day. That's the people that I know work and get a lot of overtime, and I'd rather see them keep their own money that they work for. That's where I'm at with that. And as it relates to tips, I don't get tips. So again, even though these things that I voted for and I was glad that he campaigned on it and I wanted it, personally, they really don't benefit me. Personally, it doesn't, because I don't work a lot of overtime. I rarely work overtime at all. And I don't work in the industry where I get tips. So those two things personally really don't have, but I got kids that work. I got family members that work. I got people that be on my live that probably work, and American citizens that work their behind off and put that type of work in and work for that overtime. To me, if they're able to keep all of that money, this is just how I see it. They'll be able to get they'll be able to obtain the things that they want, like a home, be able to afford it and stuff like that. To be able to financially afford it, instead of waiting for government to give you something, you keep more of what you have and you decide what you do with it. I agree with you, Billy. Billy, I hope everything is well with you, man. I ain't seen you in a little bit. I seen you in a little bit, but I hope everything is going well with you, and I hope business is going well for you too, man, and everything is blessed in your life. So that's why I'm hoping that it does get passed. Like I said, it don't really. That's what's up, Billy, man. I'm glad you all right, though. I'm glad you all right. Yeah, I know, Don. I know it ain't all come through. We just talking in general. Like, if it does go through, and it does pass, and Trump signs off and gets to the point where he signs off on it, it doesn't, like I said, personally, it really doesn't affect me because two things that really don't. Yes, dirty money. I agree with you. Because I don't personally do a lot of me personally is because I don't really do a whole lot of overtime, and it's extremely rare now. Now, if maybe 4 or 5 years ago, yeah, it would have benefited me. I'm gonna say about 5 years ago would have benefited me. When I was working somewhere else, it would have benefited me a lot because I was doing a lot of overtime then. Now, not so much. Yeah, but I think that when people, if it passes and it gets to that point where Trump signs off on it and stuff like that, I agree that, for people that work in that industry and people that get tips and stuff like that and work a lot of overtime and they trying to obtain a house, even if they got a house and they trying to hurry up and pay it off faster and get out of debt and all this other stuff, that's why I think it's more essential to have it done this way. And I agree with it. Yeah, Billy and dirty money. I'll be honest with you, 60 and 70 hours a week. When I'm gonna say probably about 10 years ago, close to 10 years ago, that was my week every week, from 18 to probably 45 years old. 60 to 70 hours a week was my life. Joyce said, "Give me the drug price decrease and the tax cuts." On the other part of my life. Yeah, that was part of my life. Like, I'll be honest with you, I worked a lot. Like, so it's just, but it's just not like, it's not necessary so much right now. That's the only reason why I don't. Right? 60, 70 hours, that was a normal week for me too, for a long time. Yeah, well, none of this stuff, none of these bills that they're writing is actually passed in law right now. But we'll see how this goes. But for somebody that works overtime, yeah, for somebody that works overtime and wants to buy a house or buy some, pay off some debt, get rid of stuff like that, and they say, if I put in this overtime, I can clear up some debt and clear up money for me to be able to live my life every day financially more free. I'm all for it. I just said right now, for me personally, and so yeah, it's hard. What's up, Jay? How you doing, brother? God bless you, bro. God bless you. God bless you. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Much respect, man. But yeah, I'm getting ready to bail out of here soon too, because I gotta get back to work myself. Now that we're talking about it. But yeah, I eventually go have to get myself back to work. I got things I got to take care of. But I appreciate everybody. I think that I appreciate everybody coming on this live. What Donald say over here? Donald, you funny as hell. I'll be honest with you. I hope I don't know about the parade. I know they talk about a parade, but if you have a $90 million parade, you don't need to have a million. If that's true, you don't need to have no parade that costs that much. But I know, but they're not slashing Medicaid. I know that's not true. So I'm gonna let you ride with that one. But yeah, I'm here ready to get up out of here. I appreciate y'all hanging out with a brother. I really do. I gotta go though. But God bless y'all. I really, really do. And like I always say, man, if you don't have Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, outside of anything and everything I say. Yeah, they will. The dividends will increase, Jay. Outside of anything that I say, man, that matters more than anything. We can talk about this stuff all day long, every single day. But having a relationship with God is, to me, in my opinion, by far more important. And Dirty Money and top to bottom, skin hair and skincare, Jay, Donald, all of you guys that always come around and check me out, Joyce, all of you guys, I appreciate y'all very, very, very much. I really do. And not, at the end of the day, um, y'all have a blessed, wonderful day. I got to get up out of here. Peace.